Alright, happy New Year's everybody, I Exist Octo here, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing my War Robots tip for 2021, and this is going to be a guide to the workshop. So yeah, in the words of your favorite YouTubers everywhere, let's hop right into it. Okay, so starting off with the basics, saving up components is pretty simple. Just watch for how much they cost, watch for how much you can afford of them. So the 80 components, for the ones that are worth 80 components, are, you're going to be able to produce them faster, but they're going to not be as good. The 290,000 for 60 components is the kind of meta price point. That's the price point all the meta robots in the game have been in. And then there's a bunch of ones in between, but really, depending on how much silver you have, you want to either go for the 290k for 60 ones, or like the 220k for 80 ones, or 200k for 60 ones. That sort of price point, because those are all going to be the best ones, and you're not going to find much that's that good in the later game after that. As for weapons, there's only two price points for weapons. So, okay, in terms of weapons, it's 150k for 60 and 140k for 80. There are some gems in the 140k for 80 price point, but most of the time you want to go for the 150k for 80. The ones in the 140k for 80 that are really good ideas to go for are going to be Shredder. Halo is pretty decent. You can make a Glory work. And that's actually about it. But Halo, Glory, Corona, Shredder, all of that stuff is pretty solid. All of the lockdown weapons are pretty solid, and they're all cheaper and easier to produce. Now, you want to see what robots you have. You want to see what position they fill, I guess. And you want to get a weapon that suits that position. So if they're a mid-range robot, I would recommend going for the 300 to the 600, 300 to 600 range for a mid-range robot. Sniping robot 600 and up, brawling robot 300 and down, or 350 and down if you're going to do something like Sparks or Magnums. And Sparks are 600 range, but they don't do much at that range. So, yeah, just keep all of that in mind. Really, if you're having a brawling robot, make brawling weapons, like shotguns, or, lightning weapons, or flame weapons, or, freezing rockets, or just normal rockets, stuff like that. If you're having a mid-range robot, maybe go for stuff like the Avalanche, stuff like Hussar, Marquez, Pulsar, Spark, and Shredder are at the upper end of that, but that's still fine. Viper's really good, Wasp is really good, that sort of thing. And for long range, you're gonna want stuff more like Flux, Tempest, but you don't want Tempest. Don't ever produce Tempest. They're not good. But Flux, Weber, Trebuchets. It's not very flushed out in terms of sniping in this game. There's like 2 sniping robots, or 3 now with the Jaeger, and 3 sniping weapons, so that's kind of up to you to choose. Next up is conversion. Conversion is absolutely not worth it. In terms of initial components, say I want to turn my Vortex components into Quarker components. Sure. I'm losing 500 of these for 100 of those at over 500,000 silver. If I lose all of these, if I lose 4,700, just keep 20 of these, I get 940 for 5.8 million. And that's, here, if I did it the opposite way, it still wouldn't be a good deal. If I turned a meta weapon into a non-meta weapon, I'm still losing more components than I'm gaining. I'm losing 1250 for 1,000. For 4.3 million already. If I lose all of these, 9850 of these, I get 7,880 of these for 34.5 million silver. And lastly is gonna be kind of about the components themselves. To speed them up, it costs gold, and it takes so much gold, it's not worth it. If you want to watch the ads, I guess, be my guest, but don't ever spend gold on that, because it's not worth it at all. It takes about 27.77777777 repeating, or 777777, etc., 8 days to produce a full weapon or robot that costs X amount of silver for 60 components, and for one that costs X amount of silver for 80 components, it takes 20.83 repeating days to produce a 80 component for X amount of silver one. So it takes a really long time, and in the end, you don't want to be trying to upgrade a robot and producing something in the workshop at the same time unless you have more than enough silver to do both. Or else you're going to run out of silver, and you never want to do that. But yeah, guys, that was about it. I'm gonna probably upload again later today or tomorrow, but that was my War Robots tip for 2021. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to reach 150 by 2021. That's in like 13 hours, but I know it's doable. So please, guys, if you're seeing this, go do that. Help me out. You don't have to stick around. And yeah, see you next time. Stay safe. Happy New Year's and goodbye.